Kosha meditations or 5-body meditations is part of that depth of practice we call present moment awareness. These are the present moment practices that cultivate our awareness. With a Kosha meditation, knowing what we know about the koshas and the 5 layers of the koshas, those sheaths of the koshas, the Annamaya Kosha, the Prāṇamaya Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha, the Vijñānamaya Kosha, and the Ānandamaya Kosha. Those layers is what we use to guide the meditation practice, essentially from the outside in. It's a beautiful form of practice because it allows us to kind of travel through our bodies of being. Now, in the spiritual practice and the yogic practice, this idea of the koshas, of these 5 layers of our being, is a really beautiful subtle body perspective that understands that our composition is not just single-minded. And through a meditation practice, it allows us and invites us to guide that inward. So very simply, we're guiding through the layers. We're spending a little bit of time talking about bringing the awareness towards that outer, that physical layer, to then bring it towards the prana layer, the breath, the vital energy, to move it towards the mind, right? The thinking body, towards the wisdom, the discernment, and towards that bliss, the essence of that being. And what's so nice and wonderful and beautiful and elegant about a practice like this is that there's a graciousness to the guidance and a purposefulness to how it flows from out to in. And in a yoga practice, and in a asana practice, it can be such a great way to open or close the practice to allow that invitation for us to settle into our bliss, into our joy, into our stillness. And so when we understand this practice, if you were to do this simply as a 5 or 10-minute practice, and we'll do it shortly as a 10-minute practice, is the time is spent just evenly between those. And you almost want to practice it and guide it in a way that you're just gently moving in, zooming in, perhaps is a nice way to put it. Often a practice like this, you can do it guided, as in a teacher can guide you through, or you can be the teacher guiding someone through. Or you can do it self-guided, where you're just mentally moving your awareness into that space of connection. Now, arguably, the self-guided can be a little bit harder because you have that intentional need to both focus, attend to, and then separate in that inward direction. But it's still possible, and it's still a nice way to practice if it's a practice you'd like to have on that day. And so when we look at Kosha meditation, it first starts by you understanding and knowing and remembering the koshas themselves, those 5 layers or sheaths of your being, and then using that as the format in our guidance towards that inner sense of connection and bliss. So that's what the Kosha meditation is, and it'll be a part of your training, learning, and understanding, and something that I'd like you to explore practicing first, and then in time, sharing and guiding. So this is what a Kosha meditation is. You can call it a Kosha meditation or a 5 bodies meditation, and it's the same practice of looking at how we move through the layers of our being.